the revolutionary ankle lock system, an integrated brace built into the boots, delivering unrivaled support, protecting ligaments from twists, tears, and trauma.
Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and R Kings. I watched pretty much all your career, Paulie, in the boxing setting. I never thought we'd be here. Never thought we'd be in a BKB. But look, you look in tremendous shape even before this fight was announced. How are you feeling? You're back in that combat world that's setting again.
Yeah. So it's all psychology now, really. The physical part is done. The preparation's done. We've had our good camp. It's been interesting to get back in shape at this age, but how to do some things differently, but adequately, and I feel good. I feel very confident in the results.
Can I ask, when obviously I mentioned I've seen your career, I know the history, and I see the hard way you had to do it in boxing. There was no gimmies, there was no handouts, and this is like the purest form of the sport of boxing. And I know you mentioned for years about your hands and things like that. Why is this here? Why is it happening now?
Fights are only 5 rounds. It's easier to do. No matter what people say about, oh, this is more violent. I've done bare knuckle before, not with BKB. This is my first time with BKB, but punches don't hurt as much. Yes, they'll cut you. Yes, they'll bruise you. Sure, they're more optically disturbing, but internally it's not as heavy. It's not as physically demanding as a 12-round championship fight. So it's yet in this sport, only 6 rounds can get you a championship. 5 rounders are regular fights, and 6 rounders are championship fights. So this is the way for, I think, an older fighter to do it. I don't listen. I love the sport. I think it's safer than pro boxing. I think the statistics show that. I think pro boxing and maybe Muay Thai are probably the most dangerous sports because they're only striking, and they're only striking with gloves on. So there's a lot heavier blows coming because the hands are constantly protected and guys are getting hit harder constantly. Bare knuckle, you can't really hit that hard all the time, so it's less concussive. It's more optically damaging because it's, a cut can open up with a grazing shot with a bare knuckle. With gloves, maybe not so much, So, yes, there's more blood, there's more bruising, it's bone to bone, but that ultimately doesn't kill you. That ultimately doesn't leave as much damage. It leaves more scarring. So, don't let anybody fool you, man. Anybody who comes here and tells you, oh, this is the most purest, most difficult form of combat, it's just because they sucked wherever they came from. It's not because it is. I'm here because I can't compete at world-class level in boxing anymore. I think people know that, But at the same time, I still have a hunger to compete. This is a standard of a sport that is in the purest form, yes, and it's got to be respected, and it's a lot of action, honestly. It's a lot of action, and I think that it'll grow for that reason, especially BKB with the Trigon. It's the most action-packed combat sports platform in the world, I think, because the Trigon, it enforces action faster than any other combat surface, and there's more knockouts, there's more stoppages, there's more head-to-head action. So for that reason, I think people will enjoy it and have fun. But at the same time, I think it's safer for the fighters.
Can I just ask you, I saw in an interview with one of my good friends, actually, Ringwalk Media. He spoke to you about a number of things, and you were mentioning this there, like the 147 division in boxing. You mentioned there saying you can't compete at maybe the world class level, but as you mentioned the likes of a Mario Barrios and saying, yeah, I think I could come back and beat him. Do you genuinely, in your own mind, go, I think I could beat him?
Yeah, I do. I actually do think I could beat Mario Barrios. I think that's why Manny Pacquiao came back. There's a real weakness in the weight class right now, and so because you sort of nitpick it, okay, maybe there's a possibility that, it would interest me because I think he sucks, honestly. I can't believe that guy's a world champion. But yeah, I do actually think the way I cut weight, I think I can make 147. I wasn't sure I could. That's why I took the fight at 154. But the way I'm on weight right now, so if I had to make 147 by tomorrow, I could. It wouldn't be easy, don't get me wrong, because I'm at 153, 154 right now, but I can make 147 tomorrow because I'm not that depleted, as you can see looking at me, usually I think when you see me fight week, my eyes are drawn in and sunk in, so it's more, I don't have that. I could get there by making 147, so I think I could still get to that weight. So if need be, I could make the weight. But as far as glove boxing is concerned, realistically, as far as options, probably maybe Misfits or something like that. I've been in conversations with them, but in terms of truly going to grasp something that's truly for greatness, truly for a feather in my hat, a BKB World Championship would really, that's the thing that really pushes me to motivate me. Listen, money's cool, but money, I can get money in Misfits, I can get money in BKB, I can get money in and it's motivating, don't get me wrong. But what's more motivating is also being able to achieve something. And in BKB, I think I have a chance to achieve something. In boxing, I don't think I have that chance to achieve that same level of status, which is a world champion. So we'll see. One fight at a time. I got to focus on Saturday night first because, you got to do the job for a Saturday and see how you feel and everything else. But it would be a tremendous honor to win a title in a different combat sport.
And you're not just going in there with anyone. I mean, Goodjohn's a seasoned competitor. He's done this. Do you know what I mean? Is that what's good for you? The fact that you're not coming in going, look, knock someone out. In boxing when you see these matchups, obviously people go with your skills and your ability, but this isn't just a knockover job.
No. This was on purpose. This was done on purpose. We wanted a guy who could not only fight but also can bring the name recognition to it. And Tyler has been he's been a pioneer for this bare knuckle stuff. So I felt like he deserved a shot at being in a fight where more people talk about it than just the bare knuckle media. It's more of a crossover appeal because I bring that to the table. So I felt like we wanted an opponent that not only would be deserving but also could bring some of his own appeal from this sport, and Tyler fit the bill.
This last one for me as well. I see Peter in the Manchester City shirt. Obviously, sad news a few weeks ago with one of your former opponents, Ricky Hatton. You know what kind of man he was. You were around him often enough. Just from your own words, I saw a little bit you did with Ringwalk Media, so shout out to him. But this guy transcended the sport and he united a nation in a pre-social media era. How much did especially from the American standpoint, did Ricky mean to people?
Ricky was basically his own franchise. It was like following a football club. Wherever he went, the entire fan base went. And be it in America or in England, stadiums filled, arenas filled. So from a boxing standpoint and a boxing legacy, it's untouchable for me, in my opinion, because there was an atmosphere to a Ricky Hatton fight, to a Ricky Hatton event that I think you had to have lived it to really to describe it, because I don't think words can ever describe the way it is. And for me personally, who fought him and also was on a show with him in Etihad as well, it's one of the finest parts of my life, So, it was really heartbreaking to see, to get that news. And, I've spoken about it several times. I kind of don't want to speak about it in light of the fight because I don't want to give shameless promotion on behalf of Ricky, but to the fight. But, it hurt a lot, especially getting the news initially. It still bothers me when I think too much about it. So I don't want to use the fight I don't want to use his death to promote the fight.
No, I agree with that. And I only asked you out of respect because you guys have shared the ring. Look, we look forward to seeing you doing your thing this Saturday, and good luck, all the best.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The revolutionary ankle lock system, an integrated brace built into the boots, delivering unrivaled support, protecting ligaments from twists, tears, and trauma.